Hello everyone, my name is Ilham Daniel Saputra and I am a student from Universitas Negeri Jakarta. I'm a student history of education and now I will explain and explore to you about my article. The title is The Hunger Plans, How Nazi Germany Used Food as a Weapon Genocide. So the first I will talk about my topic. This article explains how Nazi Germany used food as a weapon to kill million people during World War II. The main focus is the hunger plan. What is about hunger plan? So hunger plan is a plan to starve non-German people in occupied areas. This mass hunger is not caused by accident or nature. It was an organized and planned method of killings presented as military strategy. The second, I will talk about a background. So the Nazi did not only use guns and bombs. They also used food to control and destroy people. This idea came from a Nazi belief in racial superiority and extreme nationalism. At first, Minister Richard Walter Dare organized food control through farming. Later, Herbert Beck created the hunger plan, which uses starvation on purpose to feed the German army and weaken the Soviet population. This plan became part of Operation Barbarossa. What is Barbarossa? For the simple, Barbarossa is a strategy, the Nazi invasion to Soviet. So the Nazi knew that taking Soviet food would cause massive death, but they went ahead anyway. The third, I will talk about my content and what I'm finding in this article. So, from historical document, we learned several important things about the hunger plan. What is? The first, we learn about creating the plan. So, the hunger plans was clearly meant to cause genocide. In a meeting on May 2nd, 1941, Nazi officials agreed that 10 of million people would die if Germany took food from the Soviet Union. They believed that German army could only keep fighting if it was fed from Soviet lands. Nazi planners predicted that between 20 and 30 million people would die. The second, we learn about support and belief. The plan was based on racism. Nazi thought that Soviet and Jews were useless eaters. Leaders like Marshal von Rundstedt said that it was better to kill civilians by hunger than by guns. Hermann Göring also said he did not care if people under German control starved as long as Germans had enough to eat. The last, we learn about how it does. We learn about how it was done and the effect. So the hunger plan was carried out in organized way using biological and economic methods. The first, what is biological? Okay, I will explain. The meaning of the biological. Biological is the Nazi tried to reduce births and increase child deaths by promoting abortion and causing undernutrition. For the economic, so the simple is they gave a food based on race, stole money and property, and destroy the basic needs of life for their target. So the Nazi scientists even measured how starvation affect work output. This approach was careful plans of act. From 1939 to 1944, more than 5 million Russians and Ukrainians died. In just the first years of the invasion, around 3 million Soviet prisoners of war is dead, mostly from hunger. At Auschwitz, that name, camp leader Rudolf Höss said that about 500,000 people died from starvation and disease, in addition to those killed in gas chamber. So the last, I will talk about conclusion. This study showed that Nazi Germany used a food policy, especially the hunger plan, as a plan to tool of genocide. It began with a farming control and ended with a mass of death. Between 1939 and 1944, over 5 million civilians, the 3 million Soviet prisoners, and hundreds of thousands in camp died from starvation. This case proved that starvation can be used as a weapon by the state. It also shows how government office can become a part of mass murder. Yes, yes. So the future studies should include the voice of victims and compare this with other famines caused by government, such as in North Korea, Ethiopia, or Stalin Soviet Union. And that's the end. Thanks for to watch my video. If you enjoy my video, you can subs and like this video. Thank you very much. Good night.